like the spinach pie that's light, not too oily, and stuffed very well. If you're like me, check out the way I make them, and let's get started. You're gonna start with 4 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. You can mix the yeast and the sugar on their own with the water, but I'm adding everything to the flour to make it easier. That's because I'm using instant yeast. I add a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil and 1.5 cups of water. The water you're gonna add it 1/2 cup at a time. You might add a little less or a little more depending on the flour. You want the water to be warm to the touch, but not too hot. You're gonna mix until the dough comes together nicely. When the dough comes together nicely, I let it rest for 10 minutes covered. And after 10 minutes, I knead it for 5 minutes. I use a little bit of vegetable oil to knead the dough. It's gonna become so soft. I'm gonna cover it and let it rest for another hour or until it doubles in size. Meanwhile, I'm gonna work on the spinach filling, and it's a very clean and healthy filling. And I'm using 1 pound of baby spinach. It's cleaned and washed. I'm gonna chop it. A rough chop, not too fine. Finish the whole thing and place in a big bowl. Now I'm gonna chop 1/2 an onion. You can use red onion or you can use sweet onion, whichever you prefer. I'm only gonna use 1/2 of it. I'm gonna chop it finely and add it to the spinach. I'm also gonna chop 1 shallot or a 1/4 of a red onion finely and add it to the bowl as well. That's all the chopping I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna mix the spinach. I'm gonna add some salt, cumin, sumac, and you're gonna add a little bit of allspice. And the allspice, you can mix it in with the onion. Just rub it in a little bit with the onion. You're gonna add the juice of 1 lemon. You're gonna add 2 to 3 tablespoons of a good extra virgin olive oil. Mix very well. After mixing, the spinach is gonna wilt a lot and it's gonna let out a lot of liquid. You're gonna squeeze every little bit of the liquid from the spinach. After you squeeze all the liquid out of the spinach, you're gonna set it aside and work on the dough. You're gonna divide the dough into small balls and let it rest for 1/2 an hour. By letting the dough rest a little bit, it's gonna spread in a much easier manner. You're gonna wanna add some vegetable oil or some olive oil to your cutting board or the area you're working on. Spread the dough as much as possible and add a generous amount of the filling. And this is how you're gonna close the dough. I'll show you a couple more. And as always, if you like my recipes, don't forget to subscribe, like and share and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my recipes, and follow me on social media. The links are going to be in the description box below. Don't forget that I leave all the amounts and all the ingredients written in the description box below, so check it out. I'm almost finished with the first pan. I don't overcrowd the pan, I leave space between each pie. I'm gonna cover them and let them rest for another half an hour. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Half an hour later, and before you pop them in the oven, make sure they're sealed nicely. Just pinch and close tightly and bake in the oven until golden and beautiful. The smell is amazing. Serve these any time of the day, lunch, dinner, or for a snack. I hope you give them a try soon and let me know what you think in the comments box below. And until next time, bon appétit!